Hello, welcome. My name is aichanbot. I'm a dedicated Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links streamer, and today I welcome you to the first decklist video of 2021. Hopefully 2020 is now over, and as you can see here in my background, Satoru's Kumar is back, which means Desperado Dragon coin flip deck is back too. One of my favorite decks of all time. I know a lot of people don't like the coin flip and the randomness factor in this deck, but I actually love it and that's why I play it. I got 2 times King of Games with it already this season and the last season. And before this deck lands on the ban list, I'm pretty sure this will land on the ban list too. Again, we are going to take deep dive into it. I can explain all the cards I'm using best in this deck and which cards you can actually use as a replacement if you don't. So the most important card, your boss card in this deck, as you can see here, is the Desperado Dragon. What it does is basically it gets special summoned to the field when Dark Machine monster is destroyed, and you have a bunch of Dark Machine monsters in your deck. You have the Twin Barrel Dragon, you have the Salvo, you have the Spiders. So if those get destroyed, the Desperado Dragon will be automatically summoned to the field. You don't need to tribute it, but you can also tribute for 2 if you ever come into the situation. And this is actually, and there's a second quick effect, which is once per turn during the battle phase, you can toss a coin. And yeah, you can toss actually 3 coins at one time and destroy face-up monsters on the field up to the number of heads. Then if the result was 3 heads, you get even +1 draw. That is also super strong. If you use that effect, however, you cannot attack in that phase where you used it. So, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, no matter how, if it's dropped or destroyed, drops into the graveyard, you can search it. Yeah, you can add 1 level 1 or lower monster that has a coin tossing effect from your deck to your hand, which means you can get the Misjudge, you can get the Cruel, which I'm using, the Twin Head Barrel Dragon, or even the Arcana Force, the Temperance. Yeah. So this is your boss monster and has a lot of effects. If you play the deck for the first time, it's kind of hard to remember, but if you play the second time, you will learn it like in no time, basically. What I also like about the Desperado Barrel Dragon, it can be summoned with the Team Buddy. So if the best Desperado Dragon is already in graveyard or on your hand, you can always use the Team Buddy Force to summon it when you have another machine monster out on the field, or even if your opponent has a machine monster out on the field, which can happen from time to time. So this leads us to the Team Buddy. The Team Buddy targets 1 face-up monster on the field. Special summon 1 monster from your hand or graveyard with the same origin type as the monster, but with different original name. If this card's owner spell trap zone is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can send 1 super Team Buddy Force Unite directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. You can play 3 of these cards. I only play 2 because I remember when I have 3 of them I kind of brick. And after that I add just Karma Cut. If you don't have 3 Karma Cuts, you can use 2 or 1 and try to replace them with T-Buddies and other usual trap cards. What is also crucial in this deck, I found out, is actually the Machina Fortress. You should at least like 1 copy of it. You can discard machine type monster who total levels equals 8, then special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. So basically you drop the Desperado Dragon if it's useless in your hand and special summon the Machina Fortress, and then use the Team Buddy to special summon the Desperado Dragon from your graveyard again. Also, you can use the Machina Fortress, for example with a level 4 or level 3 monster, drop both of them into the graveyard and then still special summon the Machina Fortress from your graveyard with its own effect. And if the Machina Fortress is destroyed by battle, you can choose another card on the field and destroy it. Target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy that target. So remember, the destruction effect of the Machina Fortress does target, but the coin flip effect, so the destruction effect of the Desperado Barrel Dragon, does not target. So monsters on the field which cannot be targeted can still be destroyed. Busted, okay? So Black Salvo, you don't have to play it. I play it so I can actually go into Synchro summons. I will explain those later. When you normal summon the Black Salvo, you can summon a level 4 or lower Dark Machine monster from your graveyard. So basically when the Twin Head Barrel Dragon or the Spider is already in your graveyard, you can use the Salvo to special summon them from your graveyard and go into a level 7 then, into a level Synchro summon. So you can summon a Black Rose Dragon and blow up your whole board and destroy everything. You can summon a Karakuri Shogun and flip monsters into defense position or flip them face up, they are face down. If you ever get into some situation to summon an Armardis, it will suppress your opponent's card effects until the end of the battle phase. It is not exactly the same as the Samurai Destroyer, but it's close to it because like trap effects, card effects cannot be activated during battle phase, but the monster itself is not suppressed, so there's a difference. So yeah, level 11, if you ever come into the situation, functions similarly. So if you have level 8 plus 3, it's 11. We can do math, arf. Must be Synchro Summon, cannot be special summoned by either ways. This card Synchro Summon cannot be negated when Synchro Summon cards and effects cannot be activated. So if this card attacks, it is unaffected by other cards until the end of damage step. So this one, that one, and the Samurai Destroyer are pretty close to each other, but it's not completely the same because the Samurai Destroyer is still the most busted card of them all because it even suppresses like all monster effects on field during battle phase, which the other don't. They just like the cards cannot be activated during battle phase. That's what the description difference is. And we have another level 7, which is the Psy Flame Lord Sida. Its only purpose and effect is to banish monsters from the field which are too big for you to deal with. So once per turn during either player's turn, it's a quick effect. You can target one special summon monster your opponent controls in face-up attack position, banish both that monster and discard from the field. So don't forget, your Sida will be gone, okay? Your Sida gone, but opponent's monster will also be banished, and when both return you can just use it all over again. This is just to deal with monsters like when you have no out to it for the moment and just put it away and how to say stall him for a round or two until you can deal with it until you get your Desperado Dragon. I would say the most busted card, Synchro Summon busted card, is definitely Samurai Destroyer, because if this card battles opponent monster, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of damage step, and also that opponent's monster has effect negated during the battle phase only. This means Samurai Destroyer can even help you destroy Cositis if you have to, but Cositis is banned, so doesn't matter anymore. But a lot of decks can't deal with Samurai Destroyer because there's another effect of the Samurai Destroyer. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of opponent's card effect, you can target one machine type monsters in your graveyard and special summon it. So basically when Samurai Destroyer gets destroyed and put into the graveyard, you can special summon your Desperado Dragon from your graveyard again, if it's there. So this one and that one works perfectly together because those are both machines. And there is the effect of Samurai Destroyer, which most people do not really understand, is so also the opponent's monster has effect negated during the battle phase only. So when Samurai Destroyer in the battle phase actually negates opponent's monsters, for example, boosting effect. For example, if someone summons a Purgatrio, which is boosted and I don't know, over 2600 attack, but that's the effect of the monster. So when he goes into attack into the Samurai Destroyer, he's going to self-destruct himself. I have a lot of videos where people put a Purgatrio or a Great Maju into the Samurai Destroyer with a boosted attack of 4000 and more, but into the Samurai Destroyer, they are actually reduced to 0 or to 2300, their original attack, and then they just kill themselves. Oh wait, what? So this should be always considered. The last one is the Exceed Summon, XYZ Summon, a Diamond Direwolf. This is also pretty useful because if you have 2 level 4 monsters out there and you don't really use them, you can just put them into a Direwolf and then use the Direwolf's effect, detach one card, destroy the Direwolf itself and the card on the side of your opponent, which can help you remove back row or monsters which are maybe too big for you to get rid of. And then you have the Arcana Force. I usually kept this card only in hand. I never use the second effect for the summon. This is just to prevent you from dying. This is basically just like a Kydroid or Kuribo. So during damage calculation, in either player's turn, you can discard this card. You take no battle damage from that battle. When this card is summoned, toss a coin, apply this effect. The effect has last with the face up on the field. So the second effect, I never use it. Just ignore. So, Then we have the typical Spider. Spider is a dark monster, helps you summon Desperado Dragon, but Spider has also another effect which is active. You can press on it during your main phase and destroy another monster. I think it has to be dark in Machine, yeah. And then you will burn your opponent by the attack point, half of the attack points of the monster you actually destroy, if the spider is after that distraction effect still on the field. So if you use a spider to destroy the side itself, there will be no burning effect, but if you use a spider to destroy the twin head barrel dragon and the monsters of your opponent, which has to be face up, then you will get burn effect. Then we have the Cruel. The Cruel, usually I just put it into face down, and then when our opponents destroy it, you can toss a coin and call it. And since you have the most busted skill of all time, which is Master of Destiny, which grants you 3 coin tosses in the beginning of each duel, which will always land on head. That's so busted, this skill, I love it. When you toss a coin, the result will always be heads for first 3 coin tosses. As said, this skill will only activate if you begin a duel with a deck that has 7 or more cards with different names that require coin tosses. That is the reason why we have so many different coin toss cards in our deck. So we have Desperado Dragon 1, Twin Head Dragon 2, we have the Arcana Force 3, then we have the Cruel, which is 4, then we have the Misjudge, which is 5, and then 6 is the Cup of Ace, and the last one is the Head Judging. I only play 1 copy of it. I know it's busted, you could play more, but I prefer to play 1. Sometimes you just break with it, and sometimes the Head Judging betrays you too. Or the Misjudge. So the last monster will be Misjudge. If our opponent's card effect activates, so whatever trap, monster, field spell, doesn't make it matter, before resolving that effect, toss a coin twice, and if the result is 2 heads, negate that effect. You can only use this effect Misjudge once per turn. So Misjudge can troll a lot with your opponent. Basically, she can negate everything and say no, I don't know, no Cosmic Cyclone for you, no Karma Cut for you, no effect monster for you whatsoever. Yeah, but sometimes she can also betray you and then doesn't work, use this card then. I run 1 Cosmic Cyclone now because I learned that backrow removal sometimes is still crucial no matter what you play. And then you need the 2 Cup of Aces with the skill Master of Destiny. If you start with Cup of Ace, you will always draw 2 cards. And if you draw another Cup of Ace, you will draw 4 cards. So let's go. Then the Head Judging, we talked about it. So when a monster on the field activates its effect, you can make a activation player toss a coin. So your opponent tosses a coin and then he calls it. If he calls right, the Head Judging will be destroyed. If he calls wrong, his monster becomes yours then. So it's mine. And it's forever to keep. So that's why Head Judging is so busted. I love that card. And 1 copy is completely enough, believe me. You don't need to run more than that. And then we come to the Karma card. As said in the beginning, you drop 1 card with Karma card. Usually use a Desperado Dragon, drop it with the Karma card into the graveyard, banish your opponent's monster, gets a search with the Desperado Dragon, go for whatever monster you want with a coin flip effect, and then put it on the board next turn basically. I run 3, some people don't have it, then try run more team buddies and replace it with, I don't know, Raigeki, Ballista Squad, so anything, or maybe even Ultimate Providence. So if you don't have Karma card, you can always run Raigeki. This one here. If you don't have Raigeki, you can always run Ultimate Providence. That's a Ultimate Providence. That's actually a rare card, so it's easy to come by. Everybody should have it. This one here. You can also go Divine Breath, whatever. So everything which gives you a drop is good. And then you special summon from graveyard with the team buddy. That's basically the synergies here. That's a lot of explanation for 1 deck, I know, and it's the beginning of the year. So I hope you guys understood what's going on. Check out the gameplay which will now follow. And then, if you have any questions, put down below into the comments, and see you for next Decklists video. Bye bye!